This is a Labubu, and no, I didn't name it that. I also didn't plan to be involved in several eBay bidding wars over these things, but here we are. You win some, you lose some, and I won some. Join me to learn the ancient history of the artifact known as the Labubu, and how it has now become the latest overpriced collectible addiction for chronically online people like me, who once made fun of things like this, but have since been told about them by their wife, to which they replied, "I'll get you anything you want, my love," only to then find a kiosk full of supposed Labubus while roaming the mall. Of course, not knowing anything at all about Labubus at the time, and wanting to get something for their wife that she definitely didn't need, they purchased one, thinking it was the real thing, only to find out many days later that they had been duped. This was no Labubu, this was a Lafufu. But we'll get into that, I guess. Just watch the intro.
What's on the shelf? 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 What's on the shelf?
Created in Hong Kong by artist Casing Lung and released through Pop Mart, Labubus have been around for a while, but only really started to pop off when Lisa, a member of the very well-known K-pop band Blackpink, and known for not being the one who sings started wearing the now famous little devils on her bags when she was out and about. Hell, she's even the proud owner of a custom-made Labubu straight from the creator himself. Lisa has since come out and proclaimed her love for the monsters and showed off her collection, turning Labubus into the viral sensation that we know them as today. Many adults love these things, proving that these toys aren't just for kids, even though children do love them. Well, they love Lafufus, because I'll be damned if I let my kid play with an authentic Labubu. She does love her Lafufus though, and calls them boo-boos, which is adorable. Anyway, Labubus come in blind boxes, which means you don't really know what you're gonna get, which is perfect because I also didn't know that I was gonna financially spiral this month. I was first introduced to the idea of not knowing what I was buying through Lego, back when they started making their collectible minifigure series. Back in the day, they used to come in bags, so you could kind of feel around to get the specific figure you wanted, but sadly, those days are gone, and Lego has switched over from blind bags to blind boxes, along with the rest of the industry. Blind boxes have kind of gained a following of their own. I mean, I've bought my fair share of Super 7 Sesame Street blind boxes, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's talk about the unhinged Pop Mart and Labubu fandom. People that will basically camp out online waiting for a drop. Hell, there are whole Discord servers dedicated to trading these things like Pokemon cards. And you kind of have to trade these things to get your hands on them. I mean, either that or you have to buy them from resellers, because if you miss a drop, well, good luck. Some of these cost more than good childcare. I would know. And some cost even more than that. This lady on TikTok posted a video proclaiming she was the owner of the world's first and only 24 karat gold Labubu. She insisted it cost like 20,000 pounds, explaining it weighed 200 grams and was a real luxury Labubu made from solid gold.
I have the one and only 24 karat gold Labubu.
She followed that up with a widely controversial creation, a KSI Labubu. Yes, she created a Labubu styled after the famous YouTuber slash boxer KSI, complete with the pitch black face, bandana, and Sharpie art. The internet exploded, people called it blackface, which it was. Racism accusations flew, and she deleted the video. But the internet is forever, so I wouldn't expect anyone to be forgetting your Labubu blackface scandal anytime soon, lady. But anyway, I think the funniest thing about this lady's TikTok is that she's so unserious about it. She has multiple videos trying to show people that her 24 karat gold Labubu is actually real, and she can prove it.
Pour it over it. As you can see, the colour's not coming off at all, not even a tiny bit.
And this is honestly some of the best rage bait that I've ever seen.
As you can see, the gold colour isn't coming off.
you'll see that he beeps. First his face.
Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get back to the topic at hand. Labubu went from niche weirdo toy to must-have lifestyle object in less than a year, which reminds me of another phenomenon, fidget spinners. We all pretended they were therapeutic, but they were just toys for adults who had unmedicated ADHD. I mean, hell, I'm medicated for ADHD and I've got one on my desk right now. These things remind me so much of Lafufus. That's collector speak for fake Labubu. Because you could also find them being sold at kiosks in the mall, covered in lead paint and sitting next to a poorly sewn Huggy Wuggy backpack. And those toy yappy dogs that never shut up. They had line-up LED ones, funky metal ones. Hell, I heard someone even stuck one to a vape. But like many other fads, fidget spinners spiraled, literally, and then vanished. Just like Beanie Babies and Monchi-Cheese. Speaking of, the way that people are currently acting towards Labubus is the same way that people acted in the past towards their own current furry stuffed fads of the time. Beanie Babies had tag protectors, which is similar to how some Labubu owners will encapsulate their most prized monster in a translucent plastic cast of its own body. For protection, of course. That's like buying a condom for a stuffed animal's whole body. And with Monchi-Cheese, you either had one or your cousin's weird stepdad did. They were little monkey dolls that somehow became the thing in the 80s. Why? No one really knows. Remind you of anything? And then there's Garfield. I mean, I'm still into Garfield, but nevertheless, there was a time when every car had a Garfield suction cup to the window, like a furry little hostage. Labubus are the 2020s version of all of these things. Only now you're not buying them at your local Walgreens, you're importing them from Hong Kong and praying customs doesn't crush their little goblin ears. Or if you're lucky, some of them come with their parts pre-crushed. These are Lafufus. And this is the part of the video where we rip open the fake toy rabbit hole and stare into the horrifying injection-molded abyss of the counterfeit collectible world. To be honest, there are more fake Labubus out there than there are real ones. Which makes sense, because anything cute, expensive, and unnecessary is like blood in the water for bootleggers. You'll see a listing and be like, wow, a genuine real Labubu for just $11 with free shipping. Then, when your cheap doll finally arrives, you open it to find a Labubu that looks like it's been punched in the face and microwaved for $11 with free shipping. I'm definitely not speaking from experience.
Labubu, labu labu, labubu, labubu.
Let me show you the that we're dealing with here from my personal collection. These are all of the Lafufus that I've accumulated since learning about them in late June of this year. And this may be disheartening to some people hoping to get their hands on a real authentic Pop Mart Labubu, but I've been trying for 3 months and I have 5 fake ones and 2 real ones. One of which isn't even a Labubu, it's a Lagoof Goof, and the other is the only, I repeat, only Labubu that I've ever been able to score from Pop Now, which is Pop Mart's weird little game that they play with collectors that breaks your spirit 5 minutes at a time. Okay, that's kind of a lie. I've actually scored 2, but this one has been processing for like a month and a half. Now, let's get to examining those Lafufus. I picked up this first Lafufu in June at a mall kiosk, about a week after finding out what a Labubu was. I paid pretty much the same price for it as I would for a normal big into energy Labubu. And yes, I cut the tag off of him because at the time, I didn't know that was a big no-no. He's not awful, but all of the telltale signs of a Lafufu are there. I was just woefully uneducated at the time. An obvious sign that I looked over was he had a little clear plastic logo on his foot where on a real Labubu, the UV light stamp would be. This little thingy has since fallen out and gotten lost. I should have noticed that! Idiot! He's a little more janky these days than when we bought him because my daughter's been playing with him, but his head has always been loose. Speaking of loose heads, this guy was $12 at a local toddler clothing boutique, and the owner really thought that they were legitimate. I kid you not, she had no idea that there were fake and real Labubus. To be that naive again. And when I tell you the box literally crumbled when I went to open it, I mean it literally crumbled. This thing is like made of copy paper. Compare that quality to this legitimate Pop Mart Lagoof Goof box. It's night and f***ing day. Also, look at this f***er's eyes. But probably the funniest thing about this Lafufu, in my opinion, is the tag. This is the part of the Labubu that would usually include the official Pop Mart logo, and a lot of fakes even illegally include it. But not this one, baby. This Lafufu was manufactured by Poor mapped. Close enough. Now that's the absolute worst Lafufu I own. So let's go to the complete opposite side of the spectrum and take a look at the absolute best Lafufu I own. This is another one that I picked up in June at a mall kiosk, about a week after finding out what a Labubu was. And he's so damn close. This dude is my daughter's favorite boo-boo, and understandably so, as he looks pretty good for a fake. This guy feels sturdy. Yeah. Sturdy. Like, his face is solid and not squishy like these other dudes. His face printing is solid. Really, the only dead giveaways to me, as someone who is now very knowledgeable of Labubus, are that his arms are a little bit too stubby compared to the real thing, as well as his ears being too long and too far apart. But other than that, this is genuinely the most high-quality Lafufu that I own. Next. Oh my god. What the f***? Real Labubus are supposed to look crisp, but this fake is the exact opposite of crisp. Yeah, it's f***ing undercooked. Also, let's not look over the fact that this Lafufu is double wide. Like, his body is as wide as his head. But anyway, the big problem with this dude is the face. Like, sure, the teeth and mouth are f***ed up, but why the f*** does he look like Freddy Krueger? Like, how does one achieve this look? Like, I genuinely don't know how to describe it. Like, just look at it. Not to mention that this dude's eyes were put in upside down. Some Lafufus have weird ears. Some, as you've seen previously, can't keep their heads on their tiny whittle shoulders. And some hop around on all fours and sing songs. Okay, I have to admit, I bought this one knowing full well what I was getting. I saw people's videos of these things on TikTok and, well, I had to have one. So, I got one. I call this thing a Ladog Dog. The Ladog Dog takes AA batteries and is a very unique breed. It has smooth, silky fur, a tail, and even a light behind its face. I mean, there's not much to say about this guy. Like, he's an open book. A kind of terrifying open book, yeah. He scares the shit out of me, but I love him. Nobody knows where Lafufus are truly made. The boxes are blank, the trademarks are non-existent, and some come wrapped in plastic that smells like a tire fire in a Peppa Pig factory. Some even believe them to be demonic. People also think that real Labubus are demonic, so I'm not really sure how valid of a point that is.
If you have one of these in your home, be careful, because these little dolls are going viral online and people are saying that it carries some serious demonic energy. I mean, a fan tried giving one to Katy Perry during her concert, and Katy Perry just knocked it out of her hand. That's how weird it is.
So Labubus are demonic because a fan tried to give one to Katy Perry and she didn't take it. As if Katy Perry is the way we gauge if something is demonic or not. Got questions about that doll you own being possessed? Just give it to Katy Perry. That's how we'll figure out if it's really demonic.
Some people are saying they feel like they're being watched, they're waking up with scratches, they're having terrifying nightmares, and one little girl was even caught on camera telling her mom that the eye color changed of the doll. Now, I don't know how believable all of that is.
It's not. It's not believable.
The Legend of Labubu, the Devil's Pet.
Oh. Okay.
Each Labubu figure is said to be bound to the infernal realm, a vessel for the devil's most loyal familiars.
I feel like you're just saying scary sounding words and hoping that someone watching this is like, hey, they just said familiars. I know that word.
They don't just sit on your shelf, they watch, they wait. Whispers say they feed on nightmares and souls.
How does one feed on a nightmare? Like, how does that work? Like, say someone is currently having a nightmare right beside me. Do I just put my whole mouth around their ear or some shit like that and, like, feed on their nightmare? I don't get it.
It's said that when the final Labubu joins your collection.
It's said? By whom? Who said it?
The real one appears. And when it does, it's not there to play. It's there to collect.
To collect what? This ugly f***er better not take my Labubus, because I swear to God, if he touches them, we're gonna throw hands.
The Labubu dolls will be possessed on Halloween 2025, and The Simpsons predicted it.
Why are they wearing hoodies?
Homer buys a strange doll called Labubu during a flash sale that appeared on Amazon for only 13 seconds. The box arrives the next day with no invoice, no sender, no explanation.
Man, AI's really getting ridiculous, huh?
Homer, unfazed, places the doll in Maggie's crib. That night, the baby begins speaking in an unknown language and levitates above her bed. Lisa tries to record everything, but her phone explodes in her hands.
I don't think that AI knows the difference between Maggie and Lisa Simpson.
The Simpsons showed us. No one listened. Share this with someone who still thinks it's just a coincidence or who has a Labubu at home right now.
Anyway, pretty sure that these things aren't possessed by demons, so let's go ahead and open up a real one.
Hi everybody, and welcome to today's unboxing. It is the Pop Mart Have a Seat Labubu. Pop Mart Have a Seat Labubu. BB, get down. BB, my cat. Get down. Ready?
So, what have we learned here today? Well, number one, I'm not okay. Number two, Lafufus are the toy room equivalent to raccoons in a trench coat pretending to be a Labubu. And number three, no matter how hard you try on your never-ending quest for a Labubu, you're probably gonna buy a fake at some point. And that's okay, because we're not collecting these things to flex. We're collecting them because something inside us broke a long time ago, and this is cheaper than therapy-ish. And number four, none of this really matters, yet somehow it matters so much. Seriously though, if you're new to the world of Labubus, welcome. It's weird here. It's expensive here. You'll lose track of your spending and your dignity here. But you'll also get to hold a tiny little demon with a 7-inch long tag coming out of his ass and think, you know what? Life isn't really that bad. And listen, if you've ever bought a Lafufu, either on accident or on purpose, you're not alone. If you've ever found yourself staring down a Pop Now countdown timer at 3 a.m. while your child sleeps peacefully with her own boo-boos tucked under her arm, you're not alone. I see you. I am you. Hell, I own a La Dog. We are gathered here today not to judge, but to understand the chaos that we've all willingly entered into. And maybe, just maybe, to make a little room on the shelf next to the Monchi cheese, the Garfield with suction cups, and that rubber chicken that screams when you squeeze it. So be kind to yourself. Don't fall for the shady mall kiosks. Cherish your Labubus. Love your Lafufus. And remember, if it says poor mapped on the tag, that f***er's definitely fake. But hey, at least it's sturdy.
They are called Lafufu.
Ooh, I like that. Wow.
So U.S. investigators have identified multiple shipments of look-alike toys sent from China. And according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, the fraudulent dolls can break apart easily and are small enough to lead to choking hazards. This is the important thing here. The Watchdog Group is warning parents to stay away from the fakes and only buy legitimate Labubus.